The morning sun rose weakly over the rusty rooftops of Iket village, casting long shadows on the muddy ground where children played with bare feet and dreams too big for their surroundings. Mama Ibong, a frail but determined widow in her early 50s, stood outside her small mud house, clutching a faded picture of her twin daughters, Itoro and Imebong. Her fingers trembled, not from age, but from the weight of what she was about to do. The house she stood in front of was all she had left. It was the same house her late husband, Effiong, had built with his own hands. It had been their haven during storms, their warmth during cold nights, and now it would be her sacrifice. She turned to the old man beside her, Chief Itak, the village's known land broker. His greedy eyes flickered over the house, but she didn't care. "Take it," she said. "Sell it. Just make sure the money covers their school fees, hostel, books, everything." "Are you sure, Mama?" he asked, almost surprised. She nodded. "Education is the only inheritance I can give them." Itoro and Imebong were just 13, but they were brilliant, sharp minds, humble hearts. They knew their mother was struggling, and yet never asked for much. So when she told them they were going to a government boarding school in Uyo, they cried, not from joy, but from guilt. "Where will you live, Mama?" Imebong whispered. Mama Ibong smiled, though her eyes watered. "I'll stay with cousin Ikaet for a while. Don't worry about me. Just study well." They left 2 days later, their school uniforms too big and their hearts torn in two. From her borrowed room at Ikaet's house, Mama Ibong sent letters every month, sometimes with small coins tucked inside. And though Ikaet's house was cramped and the chores endless, Mama endured it all. She scrubbed floors, washed clothes for strangers, sold roasted corn at the roadside, anything to keep her daughters in school. Years passed. Seasons changed. Letters grew shorter. Then they stopped. At first, Mama assumed it was school stress. Then she blamed poor network or maybe lost postage. But deep down, a seed of worry began to sprout. Cousin Ikaet noticed too. "You haven't heard from the girls in how long?" she asked one night. 5 months. Mama Ibong nodded silently. She tried calling the school, but the line kept ringing. Eventually, she borrowed money to visit Uyo in person. What she discovered shook her. The school principal, a tired man with a drooping mustache, looked at her with confusion. "Your daughters?" he asked, flipping through dusty records. "They haven't been here in over a year." Mama staggered. What do you mean?" "They stopped attending. No withdrawal letter, no forwarding address. Just vanished." She walked out of the school gate with legs barely holding her. Her heart pounded louder than the traffic. Where were her daughters? She had sold her life, but where had her children gone? Mama Ibong couldn't sleep that night. Her mind kept replaying the principal's words. They just vanished. That couldn't be true. Not her Itoro and Imebong. They were smart, disciplined, raised better than that. Something was wrong. Something terrible. She returned to cousin Ikaet's house in silence. Her eyes were sunken, her voice gone. 4 days, she barely ate. Finally, Ikaet sat beside her and said, "We have to report them missing. Maybe the police can help." But the local police station in Uyo was no haven. The dusty office reeked of sweat and hopelessness. The officer on duty, a bored man named Sergeant Eudofia, waved her off with irritation. "Madam, these are teenagers we're talking about. They probably ran away with boys or got work somewhere." Mama Ibong's voice cracked. "They're only 16. They would never run away from me." Sergeant Eudofia sighed. "All right. Right statement. Bring recent photo." She had no recent photos, only the one from 3 years ago, the twins in their oversized school uniforms, smiling nervously. She handed it over and filled out the form with shaking hands. Weeks turned to months. No updates. No calls. No leads. Then one evening, while selling roasted corn at the roadside in Ekit, she overheard a group of students chatting in Pidgin. "That girl look like that social media babe, I'm a swag, abi wetin be her name? I'm a swag, not the twin nah. The ones way they do fashion for Lagos. Big girls now." Mama's ears perked. "I'm a swag. Twin. Lagos." She dropped everything and ran home. That night, Ikoet helped her search on Facebook. It didn't take long. There they were, Itoro and Imabong. Dressed in glittering clothes, makeup, flashy shoes, standing in front of exotic cars. Their page was filled with captions like "Hustle hard or go home" and "From trenches to luxury." They had tens of thousands of followers. Mama Ibong's hand covered her mouth. The daughters she sold everything for were now socialites in Lagos. One photo caught her eye, a club opening. The tag read, "Come party with the swag twins." Her blood ran cold. The next week, she traveled to Lagos. Ikoet borrowed money from her church women's group to support her. The city overwhelmed her, honking cars, endless buildings, strange faces. But she didn't stop. She found the club. She waited outside for hours. And just before midnight, a black jeep pulled up. Music spilled out. And then, she saw them. Imabong stepped out first, laughing, her hair dyed gold. Itoro followed in a tight red dress, smoking. Mama Ibong's heart clenched. They didn't even look like her children anymore. She called out, "Itoro. Ima." They froze. Slowly, Itoro turned. Her smile disappeared. Imabong's eyes widened in shock. "Mama." People started staring. Cameras flashed. But Mama didn't care. She walked toward them, tears streaming down her face. "My children, is this what I sold my life for?" Neither of them responded. And in that heavy, humiliating silence, Mama Ibong realized something deeper than pain. She had lost her daughters long before they left school. The silence outside the club was louder than the music blasting within. Itoro looked away, fidgeting with her clutch. Imabong stepped back, her voice a whisper. "Mama, why are you here?" Mama Ibong's voice trembled, but her gaze stayed fixed. "I sold our house, slept on floors, ate once a day, just so you could go to school. You vanished. And now I find you here, in this madness." Itoro laughed nervously. "Mama, it's not what you think." "Then tell me," Mama said, her voice rising. "Tell me what life this is, with your bodies on display and your dignity thrown away." Imabong glanced around, embarrassed by the attention. "Mama, we're influencers. Fashion, branding, business. This is how the world works now." "You left school," she said, staring straight at them. "Without telling me. Without a word." "Why?" Imabong's face hardened. "Because we were tired. We were mocked for being poor, Mama. We couldn't even afford books sometimes. We saw girls making money online, getting brand deals. We wanted a better life. And you think this emptiness, is better than education? Than integrity?" Itoro stepped in, her voice softer. "We didn't want to hurt you. We thought we'd make it first, then come find you, surprise you with a car or house." Mama Ibong let out a hollow laugh, a sound soaked in heartbreak. "You thought success was how many people follow you, how many clothes you wear. You thought that would fix the wound you created." They were quiet. She stepped closer, her voice low but steady. "I never wanted riches. I only wanted to see you grow into women with honor. Women who could speak with pride about where they came from. A tear slid down Itoro's cheek. Mama, we didn't know it would hurt this much. You hurt yourselves, she said, then turned away. And you lost yourselves in the process. She left them there, standing outside the club with tears and glitter on their faces, frozen in shame. Back in Iket, Mama Ibong returned to her small street corner, roasting corn by the roadside. People whispered about her story, but she didn't explain. She found comfort not in what she lost, but in what she still had, her dignity. Months later, a small car pulled up beside her corn stand. The twins stepped out, wearing simple clothes, their makeup wiped away. Mama, Itoro said, kneeling. We want to come home. Imabong joined her. We are sorry. We've left that life. We want to return to school. We want to be the woman you dreamed we'd be. For a long moment, Mama said nothing. Then she reached out, touched their heads, and whispered, Come. It's not too late. Conclusion. This story isn't just about sacrifice, it's about the choices we make after someone sacrifices everything for us. Mama Ibong gave her all not for wealth, but for wisdom. Let her story remind us, true success is not in fame or fortune, but in honor, purpose, and the strength to return home when you've lost your way. If this story moved you, share it. Let others learn that a mother's love is priceless, and not all that glitters is gold.